Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're back. And today we're starting our episode at the top of the tower. We still have to light the signal beacon, but before we do that, um, there are a few codex entries that have been updated that I'm going to be looking at. And the one that we're looking at now is the Ogre. So we just found the Ogre. We just fought the Ogre. It was an epic battle. And so here we go. So, towering over their darkspawn kin, the massive ogres are a rare sight on the battlefield. Traditionally, they only appear during a blight, but some records claim that ogres have been spotted in the deep roads hunting alone or in small groups. At least one report by the Grey Wardens claimed that an ogre was spotted alone in the Korcari wilds in 919 Dragon, though it was weakened and easily dispatched. Up to 100 of these creatures can accompany a darkspawn horde at any one time during a blight, often using their great strength to burst through fortifications and demolish the front lines of the opposing army. 100 of these creatures? Yo, that would... We just saw what one of those things can do. So they use brute force to charge their enemies like bulls, slam the ground with their fists to shake enemies off their feet, and hurl giant rocks into the face of oncoming foes. Melee can be difficult against a giant that snatches a warrior up in one hand, crushing the life out of him or beating him into oblivion with the other hand. The nimble can try to wiggle his way free, or an ally can attempt an array of stunning blows on an ogre to free the comrade in danger. Yeah, we actually saw this kind of happen near the end of that battle. It actually picked up Alistair, but then it was defeated by this guy right here in a last stand, or it was either one of these two. So that was amazing. The Grey Warden lore urges caution when slaying an ogre, unless it is ensured that they have received a major wound to the head or the heart. It is possible that they are lying dormant and will regenerate to full health within a matter of minutes. During a blight, most Grey Wardens recommend burning all darkspawn to ashes, dead ogres in particular. Wow, so even ones that are supposedly dead can regenerate. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so let's get this fire burning. Let's warn the comrades. Let's go. Okay, beacon.
Sound the retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
The retreat. Yo, that's messed up. So is King Caleb dying? Morrigan.
Ah, your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
What? Yeah, where am I?
Back in the wilds, of course. I am Morrigan, lest you have forgotten, and I have just bandaged your wounds. You are welcome, by the way. How does your memory fare? Do you remember Mother's rescue?
Remember Mother's rescue? Wait, what happened to the army? To the king?
The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The Darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
Loghain. My friend, you mean Alistair?
The suspicious dim-witted one who was with you before, yes. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
Were my injuries severe?
Yes, but I expect you shall be fine. The Darkspawn did nothing Mother could not heal.
What about Alistair? Is he alright?
He is, as you are. I suppose it would be unkind to say he is being childish.
Yeah, very unkind. Those were his friends.
And you think they would encourage his blubbering? If so, they are not the sort of Grey Wardens the legends note.
Okay, and why does your mother want to see me?
I do not know. She rarely tells me her plans.
Alright, but I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Are we safe here? Where are the Darkspawn?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the Darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The Horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
Why did your mother save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
Yeah. Much, much higher.
What a sensible attitude. Mother is seldom sensible, however.
How did she manage to rescue us exactly? I mean, we were cornered at the top of the tower.
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
Wow. Are there any survivors besides us?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
I see. Do you know why Terran Loghain abandoned the king?
I do not know who this Loghain even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
All right. Well, I think I've asked enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
Thank you, Morgaine. Last of the... So I've got a few achievements. The Resilient achievement, I don't know what those mean. But we've also got some journal entries. The Last Will and Testament is our updated quest. You found the cache mint... Oh, no. That's still this... I still have to deliver that to Redcliffe. I don't have a current quest, but the other quest is completed. You lit the beacon as you were told to, but the reinforcements did not come. The Grey Wardens and the King were overwhelmed and slaughtered. The Codex, however, we have characters and items. So if we go to items, the Havard's Aegis. I don't even know what this thing is. So let's find out. What is the Havard's Aegis? Havard was Mepharoth's closest friend. They were children together in the same Avar clan. They fought side by side in so many battles that Mepharoth dubbed him Havard the Aegis. Better to have at his side than any shield. Mepharoth brought Havard with him to meet with the Tevinters. It was unthinkable to stand before his enemies without his Aegis. When he understood that Mefereth was giving Andraste over to be executed, Havard, unwilling to draw swords against his friend and liege, placed himself between Andraste and the Deventer soldiers. The Deventers struck him down, and Mefereth left him for dead. But Agis was not so easily destroyed. Havard lived and made his way, gravely wounded, to the gates of Menrathos to stop the execution. Too late. He found only the ashes of the prophet, left to the wind and rain. When his fingers touched the ash, his ears filled with song, and he saw a vision of Andraste dressed in cloth of starlight. She knelt at his side, saying, "Rise, Agis of the faith. The Maker shall never forget you so long as I remember." His wounds healed instantly, and with new strength, Havard gathered up Andraste's remains and carried them safely back to the lands of the Almari. Okay, this is some pretty deep stuff, because I don't know where this came from. Like, I have no idea where this came from. Did I, like, pick up an item that's called Havard? Let me just see really quick. Where's this Havard thing coming from? Do I have an item called Havard? Oh, Havard's Aegis is one of my shields. So when I picked up this shield, that's what kind of prompted that to happen. Gotcha. Let's go back to the Codex, though, because there was also characters, and I'm assuming... Oh my god, there's a lot of characters. Okay, Alistair. We've already read this one in a previous episode. So, King Cailan Theron. Well, he's dead now, we know that. I'd hoped for a war like in the tales, a king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. I do remember actually reading this. He is the son of the legendary King Merrick Theron. Cailan was the first Ferelden king born into a land free from foreign rule into 2 generations. Since his father's death, he's held the throne alongside his queen, Anora. He fell in battle alongside Duncan at Ostagar. By the way, just so you guys know, while I am doing this playthrough and while I am doing this lore play, I am also currently reading The Stolen Throne, which is one of the books that are written. It's a Dragon Age book that was written, and it's set in a time before the Dragon Age Origins. So I'm actually reading a book that's all about King Merrick Theron, and I'm doing it for extra, just to know the lore a little bit better. So I'm doing that on the side as I'm doing this playthrough. So it'll be interesting to learn more about Merrick as I'm reading the Stolen Throne. Okay, Sir Cothrian. Some of us know what honor and loyalty are. Cothrian came to Logain's service the hard way. She belonged to a poor family and was out doing work on the farm when she saw a man on horseback being attacked by several bandits. She rushed to his assistance and found out belatedly that the man she saved was none other than the great hero, Logain. Though she was hardly more than a child, he took her in, offering her a position with his soldiers, and she climbed through the ranks through sheer determination. Becoming the commander of Merrick's shield, Logain's elite soldiers was the proudest moment of her life. Becoming the commander of Merrick's shield. Wow. Alright, Duncan. And he was also killed in battle against overwhelming numbers of Darkspawn at Ostagar alongside King Cailan. R.I.P. Duncan. It was nice knowing you while I got the chance. And then Logain. This is insane. It takes more than legends to win a battle. Logain was born a farmer during the time when his country was under foreign occupation. And again, touching back on that book that I was reading, Logain is in that book. So I'm currently reading The Stolen Throne, which talks about Logain and King Merrick. But anyway, so I'm learning more about Logain as I read the book as well. But anyway, Logain was born a farmer during a time when his country was under foreign occupation. When he was still a boy, he joined the Resistance, where his considerable tactical genius quickly became apparent. He became close friends with Prince Merrick, the last true heir to the Ferelden throne, and together they led the rebels to drive off the forces of the Orlesian Empire. Merrick raised his friend to the nobility, and Loghain is now more of a symbol than a man. He represents the Ferelden ideas of hard work and independence. That's what I don't understand. If he represents the Ferelden ideas of hard work and independence, he seems like a hero of Ferelden. But during the right here in this last sentence, during the battle at Ostagar, he fled the field, leaving King Cailan and the Grey Wardens to die. That doesn't sound like a hero of Ferelden or a symbol of nobility, or that doesn't sound like someone to look up to. So he's really, I, I, I really would like to hear his justification for that. But yeah, so that's that, and we're caught up on the Codex. Awesome. So let's move into the next. Oh, well, first of all, look at all this nice stuff. Can't unlock.
Of course.
Another dagger that I don't need. Actually, maybe I can put some of this stuff in here. Can I? No, I guess I can't. Alright. Because I've got way too much stuff. I need to get rid of it.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
Well, I'm not, thanks to Morrigan's mother.
Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
Flemeth?
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
That's true. I mean, that is true. So, why did you save us?
Well, we cannot have all the Grey Wardens dying at once, can we? Someone has to deal with these dark spawn. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
Of course not. Of course it didn't. I just want to double check. It always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Of course not.
But we were fighting the Darkspawn. The king had nearly defeated them. Why would Loghain do this?
Yeah.
Now that is a good question.
Yeah.
Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The Archdemon.
Oh boy, hold up a second, I need to read these. Yeah, what could the Tyrn hope to gain by betraying the king?
The throne? He's the Queen's father. Still, I can't see how he'll get away with murder.
You speak as if he would be the first king to gain his throne that way. Grow up, boy.
If Al Eamon knew what he did, he would never stand for it. The Landsmeet would never stand for it. There would be civil war.
Huh. Do you think the Arl would believe us over Tyrn?
I suppose. Al Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Cailan's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
Okay. Yeah, well, everyone will see the danger the blight poses, right?
You could wait for the archdemon to make its appearance. I imagine that might be convincing.
It's been centuries since the last blight. Nobody will take it seriously until it's too late.
We need the rest of the Grey Wardens.
I don't know how to contact them, or if they're even on their way. We need to do something now.
You have more at your disposal than you think.
Of course! The treaties! Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
Well, I mean... Well, why not? I mean, isn't that what Grey Wardens do?
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
Well, I'd be happy with just staying alive.
Come to think of it, that would be nice.
Well, don't expect me to do everything. There is, however, one more thing I can offer you.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve? Or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
Wait, what? And what makes you think we want her?
Her magic will be useful. Even better, she knows the wilds and how to get past the Horde.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Very well. We'll take her with us.
Not to look
She
a
could be
gift horse
useful.
in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite for Eldon against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
Yes, I understand.
Allow me to get my things, if you please. I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. 'Tis not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
You know what? You may be a useful asset to us. So actually, I prefer if you speak your mind.
Haha, you will regret saying that.
Dear, sweet mother, you are so kind to cast me out like this. How fondly I shall remember this moment.
Well, I always said, if you want something done, do it yourself. Or hear about it for a decade or two afterwards.
Do you really want to take her along because her mother says so?
Alistair, we need all the help we can get.
I guess you're right. The Grey Wardens have always taken allies where they could find them.
I am so pleased to have your approval.
All right. I think we should just get underway. Well, actually, I do have some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
I feel like that's a stupid question. Of course she's Flemeth's daughter. Well, let's ask it. Are you really Flemeth's daughter?
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
That's not what I meant. So she's just going to stay here alone?
Mother was alone long before I came, and will be so long after I am dead. Such is her choice, though I suspect she would claim the choice was made for her.
Can you tell me, no, actually, have you ever been outside the wilds?
From time to time, I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
I see. Can you tell me, about the village to the north?
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Lothering. No more than a stop along your imperial highway where travelers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
I see. And how are we going to get past the Darkspawn?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the Darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the Darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
That's not very reassuring.
We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent Darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
Of course. So, the Darkspawn are camped farther in the forest?
They come from underground, like an eruption. They broke through deep within the forest, and that is where they will be most concentrated.
Alright, and, one last question. What skills do you have, exactly?
I know a few spells, though I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother. I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
Look, never mind him. You don't have to cook.
You missed your chance. Now it's charred rabbit from here on out.
Alright, I have no more questions.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
Oh boy. So Morrigan approves +4, apparently. Quest updated, level up, new screenshot, codex. Alistair approves +4. My goodness. Alright, so they both approve of me. The codex has been updated, level up. Okay, so let's quickly look at a few of these things before I head out. So the level up is available. Let's go ahead and do that. Dexterity is good. I need the Constitution, apparently. And I'm going to go with willpower. And next. And then here, I still haven't done the poison making, but I think I'll start. Deadly second tier poisons and grenades. I think I'm going to start making those. Let's see, combat tactics. I'm just going to go with yes, let's start making those. Combat movement. Blah, 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 blah. The archery has been pretty good so far. This is an activated ability, Shattering Shot. Very long range. The archer fires a shot designed to open up the weak spot in the target's armor. The shot deals normal damage if it hits and imposes an armor penalty to the target. Yes, please. And then let's go with Alistair and level him up. So let's give him more strength. He needs that. And let's give him willpower and cunning, I think, a little bit. He does need more constitution too. I think his strength is probably pretty high right now. Let's just give him a little bit of constitution next. And yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and give him the last one, and then every level up past this, we'll be able to focus on other stuff. So he's got the Templar, he's got the Warrior. Let's see here, Precise Striking. This is a sustained ability. I guess we can, he's not dual weapon, he's not weapon and shield, he's all two-handed. So we need to start unlocking stuff like this. So actually, should I get this? This is, the warrior tries to make each attack count, sacrificing attack speed for a bonus to attack as well as an increased chance. No, let's start giving him some two-handed stuff. Instead of going for the fatal, or would it be better to do weapon and shield because he's already got a bunch of weapon and shield buffs? Let's actually not waste our points on two-handed. If he's already got a bunch of skills in weapon and shield, then let's let him be weapon and shield. So I'm going to give him this, which means that I need to now change his armor then. I need to change his weapon. So he's going to be a weapon and shield guy. So let's give him the... This is defense 4, this is defense 3. So let's give him the Templar shield. And then let's give him a one-handed weapon. Not a great sword. But let's give him, nope, nothing two-handed. There we go, a Warden's Longsword. I think that's pretty good. There's a Darkspawn Mace. Not interested in that or anything like that. You know what, I'm going to start destroying this stuff. I've just got, well, unless I can sell it. So let's wait for a second. Okay, so there's that. And then finally, last thing this episode, we're going to look at our journal and look at some of the updated quests. So, the Arl of Redcliffe. Seek out Arl Eamon. Alistair thinks you should seek the help of Eamon Garen, the Arl of Redcliffe. Arl Eamon is a highly respected noble and has a great deal of influence in the Landsmeet. Alistair believes that he will certainly aid you once he learns about Loghain's betrayal. I do not know what the Landsmeet is, but it sounds like some kind of meeting for sure. Maybe a meeting to choose who the next king is? I don't know. We'll see. A paragon of her kind. Gain Orzamer's aid in battling the Blight. You need to travel deep underground to the fabled dwarven city of Orzamer to earn the trust of her king and dwarven troops for your army. Got you? So the nature of the beast. Gain the cooperation of the Dalish clans. Now that I assume I should be able to do. I'm Dalish myself. The wandering Dalish elves, if brought together, are a force to be reckoned with. While they remain suspicious of outsiders, they may still honor the old Grey Warden treaties. Go to the Dalish elves and seek their help to fight the Blight. Okay, so the first 3 quests so far are all just gathering aid. Gathering aid against the Darkspawn. And then gather the mages of the Circle for your army. Okay, so the Circle of Magi is a group of powerful mages. If you can enlist their help, they will prove formidable against the Darkspawn. The Circle Tower is situated on Lake Calenhad. Alright, so all of these quests in the Blight are about recruiting aid to fight the Darkspawn. The Korcari Wilds, okay, so that's what we're going to do. And then in the Codex, we have characters and we have some updates. We have Arl Eamon Garen. So this is the Arl that we're trying to gather, or get eventually, and gather his aid. Nobility does not exist without obligation. We owe all we have, even our lives, to our land and our people. As the maternal uncle of King Cailan, Arl Eamon is one of the king's most trusted advisors. Redcliffe, while not a large or especially wealthy part of Ferelden, is a critical strategic location. So Redcliffe is a strategic location. The fortress guards the western pass that leads to Orlais, as well as the major trade route with Orzamer. A well-respected man, though not the most charismatic, King Cailan once said of him, "My uncle Eamon is a man everyone thinks well of, when they remember to think of him at all." Oh, goodness. Okay, interesting. So he could be very useful. Flemeth, you are required to do nothing, least of all believe. So this is the old lady. Ages ago, legend says Ban Canobar took to wife a beautiful young woman who harbored a secret talent for magic, Flemeth the of Highever, and for a time they lived happily until the arrival of a young poet, Osen, who captured the lady's heart with his verse. They turned the Chassan tribes for help, to the Chassan tribes for help and hid from Canobar's wraith in the wilds until word came to them that Canobar lay dying. His last wish was to see Flemeth's face one final time. Okay. So they were hiding from Canobar's wrath. They turned to the Chassan tribes. Gotcha. Because she cheated, basically. The lovers returned, but it was a trap. Canobar killed Osen and imprisoned Flemeth in the highest tower of the castle. In grief and rage, Flemeth worked a spell to summon a spirit into this world to wreak vengeance upon her husband. Vengeance she received, but not as she planned. The spirit took possession of her, turning Flemeth into an abomination, a twisted, maddened creature. She slaughtered Canobar and all his men and fled back into the wilds. For 100 years Flemeth plotted, stealing men from the Chassan to sire monstrous daughters. Oh my god! Horrific things that could kill a man with fear. These Corcari witches led an army of Chassan from the wilds to strike at the Alamari tribes. They were defeated by the hero Cormac, and all the witches burned, so they say, but even now the Wilders whisper that Flemeth lives on in the marsh, and she and her daughters steal those men who come too near. Wow. Morrigan's mother saved the last Grey Wardens from death at the top of the Tower of Ishal, but just who or what Flemeth truly is a mystery. That is a very cool tale. So Flemeth actually turned into a monster, but I mean she's not in a monstrous form right now. And then Morrigan has updated a little bit. Her mother claims to be Flemeth. If that's true, the Morrigan might well be a very powerful witch, for the tales of the daughter of Flemeth tell of twisted, monstrous women who can kill a man with fear. She was made to accompany the surviving Grey Wardens. The payment, Flemeth said, for saving their lives at the Tower of Ishal. Interesting. Okay, so there we go. We've got some really awesome lore going on. We know a little bit more about Morrigan, and we know a little bit more about her mother, Flemeth. We also have our quests to seek aid from different empires and races, from the Dalish, from the dwarves, from nobles. So it's shaping up to get really interesting now. We have to gather our forces to fight the Darkspawn. Looking forward to the coming episodes. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.